Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to another episode of Funday Sunday, and in this episode, we're actually taking a battleship that I have not taken out in a very, very long time, or better yet, I've not shown off in a very long time, but the first statement is true as well. We are currently playing on Sea of Fortune. We have two Yamatos, two Alabamas, Amagi, Zhao, Buffalo, Kronstadt, Baltimore, Hipper, and two Gearings. On the enemy team, there's a Conqueror, Yamato, two Tirpitz, a Magi, Minotaur, a Buki, Kronstadt, two Baltimores, Gearing, and a Hobroshk. And I don't even remember the last time I showed off a Yamato replay. It has been a very, very long time since I've actually done this. It's a powerful ship. As many of you all are well aware, it does have the largest caliber shells in the game, which does mean that it can overmatch any bow armor, which makes it very powerful and obviously deals the most amount of damage. Although she does have some weaknesses, and that comes down to her rudder shift time, her AA, her gun traverse, her turret traverse is quite lousy. And she does have obviously a fairly high citadel, which does make her very susceptible to be citadeled. Even if you think you are angled enough, you can be citadeled into by the cheeks of the turrets, so you do have to be careful whenever playing the ship, and it usually requires being able to sit more bow on as much as possible. That's usually how a lot of Yamato captains play this ship. So, starting off, obviously I am actually joined by Imperial and Xenomancer in the I believe the Gearing in the for Xenomancer and the Zhao for Imperial. First salvo off, misjudged the acceleration on that Minotaur, so unfortunately that Minotaur does escape unscathed, and he's actually smart. He actually decides not to stay in that position, but there is a enemy Conqueror, and I will have to say it is annoying to deal with a Conqueror. As many people are well aware, Conquerors are slightly annoying to deal with the super powerful heal and very difficult to citadel, although it can be done. So salvo off at the Tirpitz, and let's see how much damage we can do against this Tirpitz. 5 shell land and 24,000 points of damage, so decent amount of damage there. And that is more than likely the Conqueror firing at us, but fortunately no fires were set. And as you can probably tell, the Kronstadt is officially out. It has been out for some time, or better yet, maybe a few weeks. It is a free XP ship, only requires around 7,500 free XP, so if you want to get it, you can. It is obviously a premium ship, but we're here talking about the Yamato. Now, Yamato, as I did mention, is a powerful ship, but she can be very susceptible to being focused down, and you can't really show off any of your broadside. And look at this, Amaki, just reversing. Just reversing, but I think he does realize he is being targeted because he stops reversing and instead starts accelerating. Now, this beginning of the battle is fairly slow, but we still get a chunk of damage there, which is not too bad. And as you can see, I am taking up position by this rock, which does allow to protect my vulnerable sides as much as possible. But we do know that A has been captured, and at least one DD is no longer sighted, which does mean more than likely it is that Gearing that is currently over at A. So we do have to be careful just in case we do get torped by him. Even though the Yamato does have a very, very strong torpedo protection, so you can always at least eat a torpedo and heal from that. But as you can see, this is just kind of ridiculous. To see how many times a Conqueror sits broadsides to us, and I just can't seem to punish him, which is aggravating at time. And for whatever reason, I just had a very difficult time being able to have a good RNG roll on my guns, because even in my Amagi and my Yamato, I had very sporadic shots. So once again, Conqueror is sitting broadside, fired our front turret. We're going to try to get behind this island. Fortunately for us, this Conqueror decides not to fire with any AP shells, so we're able to get away with this. Making this turn is very, very dangerous, because once again, you're showing off your broadside, which is very, very weak. But unfortunately for us, we do run aground, and unfortunately that does mean we do have to slowly, ever so slowly, reverse trying to get out of this position. But as you can see in the very bottom left, southwest of us, is the enemy gearing, and more than likely you will be dropping torps on someone. Hopefully it is not us. Friendly construct, I do apologize, did not mean to back up into you. And the construct is actually a fairly powerful ship. With its AP, it can deal quite significant amount of damage. It does run 308 millimeters, which does deal a fairly significant amount of damage against a broadside target. And there we go, double citadel on the Minotaur. Got rid of that pesky Minotaur, and now we should be able to start pulling away. Let's see, who do we want to take out? We probably need to take out this Baltimore, but I believe Imperial is going to focus him down. Instead, we are going to switch our attention to this Kronstadt, and you can see right there, he just did around almost 14,000 points of damage against us. But we do return the favor with 15,000 points of damage, which is not too bad. Secondaries are going away, and fortunately for us, that monkey does not penetrate into our citadel, so we're able to get away unscathed, and we should be able to at least get off the rocks here in a moment. Do have to be extremely careful. Enemy gearing is being a pesky bugger at the moment. Fortunately, we do have a Baltimore that is assisting, as well as a enemy Baltimore on their side, but it does look like that Baltimore did take significant amount of damage. Now, unfortunately for us, our Kronstadt has decided to push in, which is the interesting choice, to say the very least. Shots off on that Kronstadt, and Kronstadt, well, remember when I said that Yamato, well, it does have an overpin mechanic. Its shells can still be ricocheted, as you will see here in a moment. Enemy Kronstadt is currently pushing against our friendly Kronstadt. We're going to try to help him as much as possible, and the Kronstadt on the enemy team does ricochet at least one of our shells. And can we finish him off? At least try to help our friendly. Do have to be careful not to hit our own, but there we go. Second kill of the game, and Conqueror finally decides to fire AP, but to little avail, which is extremely beneficial. Now that, once again, that gearing is being a pest, but should be able to focus down relatively quickly. Let's see if we can get a good damage roll on this Amagi. Once again, RNG just doesn't always like me, but 11,000 points of damage is nothing too bad. But we do have to be careful because there is a Conqueror around. Now, fortunately for us, our friendly gearing has laid down smoke, which does mean that we should be able to help push into B, because this battle, I mean, it's semi-close. Both teams do have one cap each. We are ahead on ships by 2, and coming around this corner, extremely dangerous, showing the side. But there is the enemy Conqueror, and obviously he has switched back to HE. And that is very beneficial for us because, well, we don't have to worry about getting at Citadel. Shots off on the enemy Conqueror, and 15,000 points of damage, which I will gladly take. But do have to be somewhat careful, because if this Conqueror manages to get on our side, his AP will definitely take us out. So I do slip into the smoke screen and try not to get focused, because it looks like the enemy Ibuki does decide to focus on us. Enemy friendly gearing has dropped torpedoes. It does land one torpedo, but it does not look like it caused any fire, any flooding. And look at this, 17,000 points of damage. And Q instant heal. A new ship button has been pushed, and now the Conqueror obviously is regaining a chunk of his health back, but he has beached himself and is firing HE, which look at that HE damage. That is just ridiculous. And let's see, can we finish off this Conqueror once and for all? And nope. 2 overpens, and he sits at 659 points of health. So at the moment, damage-wise, not too bad, 169,000. Maki is still alive and kicking. Let's see if we can punish him. And RNG says nope. Nope, we're gonna have a ricochet and a broken shell on a slightly angled Magi. Now it does look like the enemy Yamato has finally started to push in, and this is one thing I will have to say about some, even battleship captains, is knowing when to push in. Pushing in is a thing you just have to learn, but if you do not push in, you just are not beneficial for your team at all, and it's something you have to know when to do and when not to do, because if you push in too early, you will get focused down and you will die relatively quickly. But if you don't push in, you're not helping your team, because battleships can tank. They have the armor, they have the potential of actually dealing quite a bit of damage. There we have just done around 16,000 points of damage against the Turpets, and we're gonna try to push in a little bit more. It does look like the Turpets does take out the friendly Amagi with torpedoes, which is unfortunate. And right now we're gonna try to be a little bit careful, just in case the Yamato decides to turn around. Don't really once again be showing off that broadside. Shots off on the Amagi. And we earned at least earned high caliber, which is not bad. And now there's that Buki. He's actually fairly full health, and he is very close to Yamato. Very, very close. Let's see, ricochet and a overpen. Now I'm hoping to take out the Amagi. Would definitely like to take him out once and for all, but unfortunately he does disappear, and he is currently behind a mountain. So that is not going to work. Instead, let's focus down the Ibuki. Yeah, I almost feel bad for the Ibuki, really. Look at this. Nice. 20,000 points of damage off of this Ibuki, and we have just earned Confederate, but unfortunately we're not able to get the kill. And the Magi goes down, and any moment now the Ibuki will go down as well. So decent battle here, 228,357. Yamato is the last battleship technically alive, and at any moment he is going to go down. So not a bad battle. And that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.